All right. What is up, Twitch? Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Remy's Roundtable, the Florida Theme Park Podcast. I am glad you guys are with us this morning. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Let me go ahead and get not crud. Where is it? Oh, there we go. And- all right, Mr. Porter, I am ready when you are.
Go right ahead. I'm good.
All right, let's do it. Welcome back, everybody, to Remy's Roundtable, the Florida Theme Park Podcast. We are glad you guys are with us this morning. So it is time for our guest spotlight segment. Of course, you guys know the crew this morning. My name is Remy. We also have Mark, Mike, Jen, and Nicole. And like I said, guys, it is now time for our guest spotlight segment. And as always, our guest spotlight segment is brought to you by our good friends over at the Magic Candle Company. And if you guys want a new smell for your home, use our code Roundtable19 at checkout, and that is where you guys can make your house smell lovely. And speaking about Magic, guys, yes, I am repping our Orlando Magic t-shirt right now on the Zoom and on Twitch and YouTube as well. So with that being said, guys, this is the legend. I call him a legend because he is a legend to the Florida community. He is he is everything that has to do with Orlando. I mean, he's been doing this for so many years. He has been on the program before, but he is one of my favorite announcers of every time I go to the Magic and go see them live and play. Guys, please welcome back to the program, Mr. Paul Porter. Paul, what is up, man? How you doing?
Good, Remy. Good to be with you again. Enjoying some off time, and it'll go by quick. Couple of months, and we'll be right back at it again.
Yeah, man. Did you see did you have a chance to see the schedule on who we're going up against for the preseason?
I did. I saw they got a couple of Friday night games with New Orleans and Philadelphia at home. So that'll be a good test. Both of those two teams, playoff teams, and are very strong. And New Orleans in particular could be making some off-season trades with Chris Ingram, and I'm hearing Darius Garland could be headed to the Pelicans, so from Cleveland. So it'll be an interesting off-season and see how it all shakes out.
Oh yeah, man. So first and foremost, man, what got you into doing PA announcing? Like, what got you into doing this job? Like, what got you into it, man?
Well, I've actually been started out in radio, and I've done radio for since 1976. So I'm into my 48th year right now doing radio, and I did radio for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and did public address announcing for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then had an opportunity to come to Florida when my good friend Pat Williams got the team for Orlando, and I knew him from his days with Philadelphia. So he encouraged me to apply for both the radio job and the PA job, and I did. And of course, David Steele got the radio job, and now the TV announcer, and I got the PA announcer job. And 35 years later, I'm still here doing it.
Dude, I'm very happy that you are doing the PA announcing for our home team, the Orlando Magic. And here's something that I would like to say, man. You made my childhood. Like anytime I've gone to Magic games for field trips, I've always had that, you know, I was already like curious on who's doing all these announcing, like who's doing all of these, these playing announcing when the Magic, F up or goes to the foul line, 3-pointer. I was just curious on who did all of the announcing, and that's you, man. And I gotta say, you've made my childhood. I'm happy that you've done that, man.
Well, I appreciate that, and glad that I could do that. In fact, funny thing happened this past season. One of the dancers for the 407 came up to me, and she said, my grandmother was on the first Orlando Magic dancing team, and she still remembers you. You're still here, and now her granddaughter is being introduced by you. So there definitely has been some longevity, and I'm 70 years old now, but feel good. And as long as my voice holds out and the team is happy, I don't see any end in sight.
Speaking about your voice, do you have like any techniques on how to be like how to get prepared for like either an Orlando Magic game or a Tampa Bay Lightning game?
Well, one of the first things that I make sure is that uh, something that can be deadly, literally, to an announcer or to anyone is eating peanuts. And I don't eat peanuts at all prior to a game. In fact, my brother, who is a radio announcer in Canada, was eating peanuts and was choking on them and ended up crashing his car. And fortunately, he wasn't seriously injured, but it's something that I've learned that that's one thing you stay away from. And I I always try and take good care of my health. I take a lot of vitamins, and also if the temperature gets a little cooler, and for Floridians, cooler is into the 60s, I wear a jacket when I'm out, and I just try and take as good a care of my health as I can. Walk a couple of miles a day to keep the cardio going well, and just try and do what needs to be done in order to prolong my career.
Oh, dude. I mean, that is. I mean, I now know as a podcaster, I should never eat peanuts while I'm doing recording.
Yeah, they could get you, that's for sure.
So let's talk about you. You've been doing this for so many years. I mean, happy birthday to the Orlando Magic. I mean, they're 35 years old, and this is a really big long run for the team. And what I want to ask you is, what is your top? What are your top five players to announce? Like, who are your top five favorite players to announce on the team? It could be from the past or right now, like currently.
Well, I would say number one would be Hito Turkoglu. I always had a good friendship with him, and funny story with him. I would always announce the starters for the second half, and he was usually one of the starters. And one night I named the other four guys and didn't mention him, and he was vociferously waving under the basket, "Hey, hey, I'm here, I'm here." And I, after about a 20-second pause, said, "And Hito Turkoglu." And he and I laughed about it to this day. And for the length of his playing career, I would always, whenever he was out there, I would name the other four, and then I would do a distinct pause and then come through with "and Hito Turkoglu." But he was the kind of guy that would just, there could be, 1.5 seconds to go, and the Magic trailing by one, and the crowd on its feet and screaming, and thousands of people on the edge of their seat. And he would come up to us and say, "How's everybody doing? You having a good time tonight?" And just kind of cut through the tension. And it was something that everybody got a kick out of. So Hito would be my number one. Number two would be Shaquille O'Neal, who, again, I still have a long time friendship with him. And I love to be able to draw his name out, Shaquille O'Neal. Fans would enjoy that. And I'd hear about kids out on the street imitating me. And they always said that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So I appreciated that. Number three would be Dennis Scott, because I enjoyed the 3D. And I actually invented that for him because he shot so many threes. And 3D became a very popular thing. And he actually gave me credit for it on TNT when he was doing work for them, that's how it all started. And then after those three, I think I would go number four would probably be a guy that's with the team right now, and that is Markel Fultz. And the reason I say that is because Markel told me that he's worked on his imitations, and after his playing career, he would one day like to be a PA announcer. So he has imitated me quite a bit, and we've developed a good friendship over the years. And then number five would probably be Darrell Armstrong, who I've had a great friendship with from his playing days, and have continued with his days with the Dallas Mavericks. And I wished him well for the finals. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it done, but Darrell Armstrong is somebody that I kept in good contact with. In fact, they even had a pin for me celebrating his lengthy career with the Magic and the Mavericks, and it's his number 10, and I wear it proudly, lapel pin. So those would be my top five, Ren.
Oh man, I mean, you pretty much named almost all my favorite players on the Magic. I mean, the one player that I did miss you doing is, when Tracy McGrady was on the team. I love how you said his name, Tracy McGrady, and I'm like, okay, that was just smooth. Like that was just pure gold right there.
Well, he would probably be number six for me, and I developed a good friendship with him, and I would interchange the Tracy McGrady and the T Mac back and forth, and he enjoyed both of them. And he had thanked me many a time for the way that I announced him and used his name, and it was something that he really appreciated how I incorporated it.
Besides doing your local, doing the PA announcing for the Magic and Tampa Bay Lightning, what are some of your favorite hobbies, man, to do here in the beautiful state of Florida?
Well, I enjoy walking. I like to get out and walk a couple of miles a day. And when the weather's cooler, I might even extend that to 3 or 4. Is something I enjoy doing, walking in the park and that sort of thing. I also love the theater and the orchestra. I go to many Broadway shows here in Tampa where I live, and also see the Florida Orchestra on a regular basis. So I enjoy music and theater and reading. I'm in the midst of reading 3 different books right now, and 3 totally different topics. One of them by a good friend of mine who's a former NBA referee, Bob Delaney, who has quite a history himself. He's written 3 books with undercover work for the New Jersey State Police before he became an NBA official. And now in his post-official days, he's working as an advocate for PTSD victims. And that's something that he's written a 3rd book about. Heroes Are Human. And I'm in the midst of reading that right now. And one of the other books I'm reading is by the play-by-play voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Dave Mishkin, who wrote a novel about a hockey player that became disabled and how he coped with life after hockey. So I enjoy reading, and that's a good pastime for me. I will go out and walk and then come back and get myself an iced tea, sit down and read, and browse the internet, see what's going on in the NBA and the NHL and the NFL, because I also do not really arena announcing, but press box announcing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I have 3 different teams that I work for all together, including the Magic and the Lightning.
Oh my gosh! So the Lightning, the Magic, the Buccaneers. This is insane, man. I mean, you are truly a legend to Florida, man. I mean, when everybody comes up to you and say, "Hey, are you Paul Porter? Are you the guy from the Orlando Magic?" Yeah, that's me. I'm like, dude, you are like the god of sports here in Florida.
Well, I appreciate that. And, it's been a very good run, and as I mentioned, I don't see any end in sight, but it's something that I really enjoy. And you've heard the saying, and I'm sure many of your listeners have, that if you enjoy your job, you never work a day of your life. I firmly
Absolutely.
believe in that. I firmly believe in that.
So when it comes to, getting ready for the game, what do you look at like when you're about to do the live PA announcing for any game? Like what do you look for to do the
Well,
entire show, to do the entire game?
one of the most important things I do is go over pronunciations, not just the players and the coaches, but people that I'm going to be introducing, like if they're receiving an award or if they're being honored as a military standout or something like that. I always check the pronunciations of anthem singers, because this is their moment to shine. This is their time in the spotlight, and I want to make sure that I pronounce their name right. They may be the only one that knows if I mispronounce it, but the fact that they're being honored and this is a special time for them, one they'll never forget. I like to make sure that I get it right. And as far as the players go, I'll talk to the players and make sure that I'm announcing their name right. They got to the highest level there is in basketball or hockey or football. I want to make sure that I'm paying them the due respect and that I'm actually announcing them correctly.
That is great. That is great, man. So before we take off, my last question is that you were on, you've been on multiple NBA video games, and every time when I'm playing one of the Magic games, I always use the Orlando Magic, and I have my custom team, and I'm like, okay, I want my name to be said, which obviously nobody cannot pronounce my freaking last name or my first name in any video game because I'm like, you got to be kidding me, but my my thing is that what was it like to do, hearing your voice on a NBA video game for the very first time? What was your reaction?
Well, actually, it was my son who lives up in Ohio that told me about it. I knew that I had recorded it with NBA 2K, and I've done that for about 4 years now. But he said, your voice lives on in the video game, that it'll always be there. And he plays the game on a regular basis, and he does the same thing as you. He always is the Orlando Magic so that he can hear his dad. And it's a great compliment to me to hear him say how much he enjoys.
That's good. That's great, man. Now, I am so sorry. I'm just a little choked up over here. All right, Paul. Now, I have we have this thing here. It's called the rapid questions, and this is coming from the late James Lipton from inside the Actors Studio. Okay, so
Okay.
first and foremost, man, what is your favorite word? Like, what's a word that you just enjoy saying?
Arbitrary.
What's the
I
least
love the word arbitrary.
arbitrary? Okay, what is your least favorite word?
I would say that would probably be narcissistic.
Okay, uh, what sound or noise do you love?
The sound of rain on a roof.
What sound or noise that you just cannot stand?
That would be the loud horn of a semi truck.
Man, I thought you were gonna say the buzzer at the Magic game.
No,
uh,
that I've gotten used to that.
oh my gosh. um, besides your profession, what other profession would you like to attempt?
Well, that's a good question. I like doing volunteer work, believe it or not. I like visiting people in hospitals. I like to uh, do counseling with people, even though I'm not a professional counselor. I just like to sit down with people and talk to them about things they're going through and issues they're having and see if I might be able to lend some advice to them. So those are some of the things that I'm not ready to start a new career at age 70, but those are things that I could see myself doing even now and as I finally hang up the microphone.
There you go, man. All right, now I had to add this question in there. All right, so yes, it's not coming from James Lipton, but this is coming from me. This is coming from myself, Remy, and that is Paul Porter. What is your favorite magic word?
It would easily be traveling. I enjoy saying traveling. and just to watch the expression on the other players' face when he realizes that he's been caught by that. And a little side story to that: Steve Kerr, the coach of the Golden State Warriors, who played for a short time in Orlando, he remembered me doing that, and he says it drives him crazy whenever I call that against one of the Golden State players. So I always, whenever that happens, I'll say it, and I'll look down at him, and he'll just shake his head at me and sometimes pump a fist at me.
Good old Steve Kerr. Good old Steve Kerr. I think for me, to be honest, is the way, like, my favorite thing about you is how you make the crowd go crazy. Like when you're just in your seat, you go, all right, stand up and cheer for your Orlando Magic. See, that's my favorite word. Those are my favorite words when you're announcing the for the crowd. Just getting us hyped up for the entire for the game. That's pretty cool. So my last rapid question is, if heaven exists, what do you want to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I would love to hear the words, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." Those would be the words I'd like to hear. And just one quick sidelight to what you had said about the stand and cheer. I approach every game as though people are there for one game the entire year, or maybe one game their entire life. And I want them to have a good time. Nobody knows what's going on in these people's lives that are in the stands. And they may have had an awful day. They may have a highly stressful job. There's doctors and lawyers, brain surgeons that are all there. And they're coming there to enjoy themselves and to relax for a couple of hours and get away from life. So I want to make them happy. And I always consider myself as the voice of the fan, that I can actually make people happy and make them smile and cheer and clap their hands and have fun. So that's what's really behind my approach to the job.
Awesome. Well, Paul, before we take off, can you sign us off with your best Orlando Magic?
Absolutely. And now, stand and cheer your Orlando Magic.
Awesome. Paul, thank you so much for being on. And like I said, man, you can come back on the round table anytime you want.
Okay, I appreciate that, Remy. Good talking with you again.
Likewise, man. And Paul, you have a great day. And guys, we'll be right back with we have your this day in Disney history, and we'll wrap everything up with these notes with Mark McKay. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to Remy's Roundtable. All right, Twitch and YouTube guys, thank you so much for listening to this awesome interview that we had, Mr. Paul Porter. You guys can hear this episode once we published to the on Spotify or wherever you guys are listening to Remy's Roundtable. It will be published right there on Spotify, and hopefully be out to this evening or on Friday. So guys, you know what? With that being said, bye.